Today, I'm going to explain the movie Extreme Job, released in the year 2019. The movie opens up with four criminals sitting inside a closed beauty salon gambling around a table. Suddenly, one small window breaks, and when they get up to investigate, they see Detective Zhang outside the window on a rope. Huan Dong and other gamblers pack their items and start getting away from the scene. However, Zhang informs them that someone is behind the door. Turns out that the two detectives, Yung Ho and Jae Hoon, are waiting for the gamblers to come out. Unfortunately, after Zhang's warning, no one proceeds from the door. Meanwhile, Huan Dong opens another window to find the squad captain, Ko, also hanging from a rope. Both detectives fail to enter through the window, and Huan Dong mocks their clumsiness. As a result, Captain Ko orders his squad to get in. But as soon as Jae Hoon and Yung Ho break in through the door, Huan Dong takes his bag and jumps out of the window. Seeing the suspect escape, Ko uses his cable to reach the ground faster, but ends up making a hilariously bad landing. Following this, a hot pursuit ensues. Huan tries to steal a car by pulling out the owner, but as soon as he enters, he gets pulled out in the same fashion. As the gambler tries to escape on foot, Detective Ma suddenly appears on a scooter and starts chasing Huan. He crashes into Huan and finally subdues him. Unfortunately, Ma realizes that he forgot to bring the handcuffs. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Huan tases him and starts running away, but soon gets hit by a bus. The accident paves way for a chain of other accidents, leaving the detectives stunned. In the next scene, the detectives stand in front of their chief while he reads the case report. The chief informs them that they decimated a total of 16 cars, whose owners are furious at them. To add insult to injury, he also delivers the news that Ko's junior, Detective Choi, has been promoted. Turns out that Choi stopped a major drug deal with his organized crime unit. When Ko tries to speak, the chief makes them leave the room by throwing things at them. Outside, Zhang accuses Detective Ma of budget tampering and tells the others that she will handle finances from now on. Suddenly, Zhang finds a casino chip inside Ma's pocket, which enrages Ko. He starts punishing the careless Ma when Choi's detective unit smugly passes by. Ko stops him and says they could have collaborated had Choi informed him about the case 2 months ago. However, Choi reveals that he didn't want to involve them because of their past failures. He also mocks Ko about the recent case. Later, Ko's team joins Choi and his group for a barbecue. While their teams are eating together, Ko looks dejected as he sits with Choi at a different table. There, in the name of competition, Choi hands Ko a lead, a drug lord named Mu Bei, who has started assembling gang members. Choi also informs that Mu Bei's right-hand man, Hong, got out of jail 6 months ago. They assume that he'll resume his crimes. However, he's not done anything suspicious yet. Choi then shows a picture of Hong's recruits to Ko and tells him that Hong might be waiting for Moon Bei's return to Korea. With this information, Ko is ready to catch the suspects, as he is desperate for a promotion. In the next scene, Ko and his team visit the given address to investigate. Ko, Zhang, and Yung Ho observe things from afar, whereas Jae Hoon pretends to be a builder and Ma is on a rooftop spying with his binoculars. However, their plan quickly backfires as some people take Jae Hoon to a different place, mistaking him for a real builder, and a lady calls the police on Ma, mistaking him for a pervert. The police shove them inside a car, and just then, Hong's men arrive at the site. After the goons' hideout is revealed, the detectives finally show their badges to the police, revealing their true identities. Since the group cannot spy on the suspects from outside, they enter a nearby restaurant to continue their observation. Day changes into night, and they're still eating at the same table without any clues. Frustrated, Zhang and Ma start arguing once again. Yung Ho then claims that stalking the goons is pointless as they don't know when Moon Bei will arrive. As he is saying this, He notices Mu Bei outside with his gang, and the whole group peeks from inside. Meanwhile, they get distracted by the restaurant owner, and when they turn back, they find an empty street. This devastates the team as they don't want to hand the case to Choi's unit. Just then, Ko comes up with a plan. He asks the owner if the goons order any chicken from there, to which he says yes. The team becomes very happy hearing this, but their smiles soon turn into disappointment when the owner reveals that the goons are his only customers, and hence he's putting the restaurant up for sale. As Ko wants to install cameras and other spying equipment inside the goon's apartment, he reluctantly agrees to buy the restaurant. Later, Ko visits the chief to ask for some budget, but the latter rejects his proposal immediately. Despite this, Ko withdraws all his life savings and buys the restaurant. He views the restaurant as a backup plan if the case betrays them. Soon, the team installs wireless taping devices in the goons' building and starts tracking them. They plan to deliver chicken to the goons and observe the surroundings once they get inside. However, they're disturbed by a flurry of unexpected guests from time to time. Meanwhile, the criminals do nothing suspicious while waiting for Mu Bei's arrival. When they get into an argument about the TV remote, Hong makes them fight to decide a winner. He says that the loser has to buy chicken from the restaurant. Hearing this from the wireless tapes, the detectives panic as they do not have any food in the restaurant. Soon, the goons arrive, but Ko tells them to come the next day as the restaurant is about to close now. The next day, Ko brings groceries and tells his team that they should prepare the food. He wants everyone to be ready when they receive an order. Since his grandmother owns a rib restaurant, everyone votes for Detective Ma as a cook. Left with no choice, he takes his grandmother's recipe and prepares fried chicken, which surprisingly turns out to be delicious. 2 customers try the formula and immediately like it. Their reaction excites the detectives and they rename their restaurant Fried Chicken Rib. Soon, the new recipe starts attracting more customers. The cash starts flowing in, and Ko gifts his wife a fancy Gucci bag. Meanwhile, Jung Ho is in charge of keeping an eye out for the goons outside, while the other 4 are extremely busy because of the continuous flow of customers. Due to the current turnover, 2 reporters come to the restaurant and want to report on the fried chicken rib, but Ko rejects their offer as it might expose their case. One night, while looking for movements, Jung Ho finds Mu Bei getting in a car and tries to alert his team. However, everyone is busy because of a packed restaurant and no one can get his message. As a result, he decides to follow the cars alone. Unfortunately, the cars split up at an intersection, leaving Jung Ho confused about which car to follow, as he doesn't know which car Mu Bei got inside. He returns to the restaurant furious, but his teammates instead yell at him for not helping in the crowded restaurant. Jung Ho gets irritated and tells them about the happenings earlier. He confronts the group asking if they forgot about their actual purpose there. Hearing this, Ko realizes that they have gone too far into the restaurant business and have to strategize. They increase the price of their menu so that no one visits them anymore, but it backfires. Customers start calling it Emperor Chicken, and the place becomes even more popular. The group once again gets confused about what to do. As they're trying to devise a solution, the chief calls them into his office. He scolds the team for doing nothing but stakeout. As the chief is about to disband the team, Ko suddenly gets a delivery order from the thugs. With reinvigorated motivation, the team rushes to the restaurant and prepares food quicker than usual. Zhang suggests drugging the criminals, but Ko disagrees because it's highly immoral. The team set off for the delivery and Ko rings the bell to the building as a delivery man. When the door opens, he only finds a few women cleaning. Unfortunately, the criminals have already left the place. Back at the restaurant, Ko starts to laugh at their situation and tells them that the night is their farewell party. He opens up a drink and chugs it when Zhang and Ma stop him abruptly. Zhang had roofied the drink despite Ko's order. Because of this, Ko slowly loses consciousness and curses at his team when they start to apologize. Meanwhile, the same two reporters who Ko had rejected earlier carry out a secret news coverage and talk badly about the restaurant as their revenge. They say that the price is very high for a restaurant that orders food from somewhere else and sells it as their own. This report causes Ko's team to be suspended. Ko's wife also gets angry at him for selling chickens rather than being a good cop. She tells him that she only cares about Ko's safety, not the money. This makes Ko very emotional. The next day, the team returns to the restaurant to work. Ko needs to keep running the restaurant to make up for his life savings, or else his wife might divorce him. Suddenly, a lawyer appears in the restaurant and proposes to franchise the business. The group thinks he's a fraud and tries to kick him out, but he offers a massive cash investment and they finally believe him. Turns out that the lawyer's one of Mu Bei's men named Zheng, who wants to use the chain of fried chicken as a cover for his drug trafficking. In no time, different franchises of the restaurant get established in various places. The team gets suspicious of Zheng and researches him, but his background clears out. However, the squad sees a piece of news about poorly managed outlets all over social media. The drug dealers do not want to participate in cooking and serving, and often threaten customers and refuse to serve. Because of this, the detective squad starts to investigate in detail. Upon research, they learn that although the restaurants are always empty, the pickup orders are enormous. They see the delivery boys carrying too many items at a time, which adds to their suspicion, and they start to follow them. They see customers taking something out of their orders and throwing the rest away. Ko follows a shipper to investigate and orders Zhang and Ma to look after other locations. Soon, he witnesses a conflict between a customer and a delivery man, who leaves the place without giving the former his order. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Ko goes to the customer and learns that the franchise is a cover-up for drug trafficking. On the other hand, Detective Ma reaches a restaurant where he finds the criminals gambling and joins them. To be discreet, the criminals start talking in Chinese, and an overconfident Ma also does the same, blowing his cover. The thugs beat him up and escort him to Mu Bei, who discovers that Ma is a detective. He gets furious and plans to use Detective Ma as bait to kill the others. Meanwhile, a curious Jae-hoon tries Moon Bei's drugs and gets intoxicated. The rest of the team go to Zheng's office for information, only to find it empty. Suddenly, Zhang receives a video call from Ma's phone. She answers it and sees an injured Ma tied to a chair. The criminals then tell the squad to arrive at said location if they want to save Ma. Hearing this, Zhang opens the Find Your Husband app, which she previously installed on Ma's phone. It surprises Ko and Young-ho, but they decide to ignore it and follow Zhang. On the other hand, the criminals dig up a hole to bury Ma, but he manages to untie himself and beats them up. After this, he sees a truck leaving the site and clings on to it. The truck passes the squad's car, but they miss each other. In the next scene, the truck reaches a harbor, and Detective Ma witnesses a deal about to happen between Mu Bei and another criminal named Ted Chang. Seeing that the transaction is about to be complete, Ma turns on the police siren to scare them. Mu Bei suspects that Chang called the police and shoots him in anger. Because of this, both sides start attacking one another. Meanwhile, the detective squad finally arrives at the site. Ko clicks a picture of the gangsters and sends it to Choi. At the harbor, when the criminals see only 5 detectives, they stop fighting and get ready to face them. However, the team is unfazed and takes on the large criminal group. Elsewhere, Choi receives the image and rushes to the site. His men believe that Ko's team will soon be outnumbered, but Choi is confident in their abilities. He reveals that the group of 5 is special. Ma is an ex-judo national athlete. Young-ho used to be in the special forces. Zhang is an experienced Muay Thai champion. And Jae-hoon is an ex-baseball player who has developed resilience to blows. Finally, Choi reveals that Detective Ko is nicknamed the Zombie, as he survived being stabbed 12 times while in the Major Crimes Division. As the squad is fighting with Mu Bei's gang, Mu Bei takes the opportunity to run away with his assistant. Detective Ko runs after them, but Mu Bei's assistant stops him. Just then, Zhang comes to the rescue and attacks her. After an intense fight, she finally manages to subdue the villain. Meanwhile, Mu Bei flees the scene on a boat, leaving his assistant behind. Suddenly, Detective Ko appears on the ship and attacks Mu Bei. Both of them knock each other out, but Ko, being the zombie, gets up quicker. After a while, Choi arrives with backup, only to find the criminals tied up on the ground and Detective Ko's team posing as winners. As the movie ends, the detective squad is honored publicly, with each member promoted to a higher rank. That was all from the video.